3, 2, 1, and we're live. How we doing, buddy?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, much easier week this week.
Yeah?
Work is not as intense, so yeah, here we are.
Well, unfortunately, my work's always intense, as it goes when I'm always phoning you. I think you wake me up when you phone me.
Yeah, because I finished last night at about 8 o'clock, but that was just something I needed to get done because I've got 2 days off, Monday and Tuesday, so woohoo.
Yeah, but what time did you go to bed?
No idea. I think it was really late. I don't clock myself in and out when I go to bed. So yeah. Look, yeah, it's been an okay week, but it hasn't been okay for you because
Don't
me.
even go there.
We're talking about the Oasis tickets. What's going on? What happened? Come on,
mate. Okay, so after
rushing back. Because that's why you rushed back from Cheers Bar last week.
Don't. Right, okay, so last night, sorry, hold on. I've got to sort these out because these are playing up. Okay, right, I'm going to have to do that. Last week, I went rushing back and I had the phone on. Because we're in the podcast asylum today with all the padded walls. If I look at Nick, look at that, the padded cell.
Should be a straight ticket, like this. Yeah.
Right. Rushed back. I had the PC on. I had the phone on. I've got 3 accounts, and it only let me on one. Yeah,
okay.
Big Brother.
It's Big Brother,
yes.
Or being super intelligent now. You could have gotten away with that a few years ago, I suppose.
I know. And then, so I had the desktop on, and then with that, we had. I turned. So there was a muck up from me. So I came in just before 5. I put everything on the PC, got it ready, and I didn't click on getting into the queue. I got onto the website, but I never pressed to get into the queue. I thought I was already in, and that was 20 past 5 when my brain engaged and I clicked on. I was 81,000 in the queue.
That's not too bad. I've seen people that were like 200 and something thousand.
Were they?
Yeah, I've seen screenshots on social media. So 80 was well, how big's the stadium? 80,000. So come on, man.
90. And the reason why I know that because I had a little spat with my niece. She goes, "Oh, it holds 1,000." I'm like, "No, it holds 90." And she goes, "No, it no 92." She said 92. I said it holds 90. She goes, "How do you know that?" I said, "Well, Google told me."
The Googleator.
But it was you imagine the amount of people on the pitch. Anyway, 25 past 11, I got to the end of the queue.
The end, is that a good thing? Or you
Yeah.
want to be at the front of the queue? Really?
Well, that was at the front. That's what I mean. Sorry, at the end of everything. So I was at the front of the queue at 20 past 11.
Yeah.
VIP tickets at £470. Pounds, not dollars. Pounds.
So that's what, 750 Australian.
Yeah, basically double it.
Okay, yeah.
So I bought. Yeah, that's it. It's like I bought 0. My niece, one of my nieces, actually got the opportunity of getting me one for £300 on the same. No, I don't know if it was the same day as as in the family, the same nieces on that side of the family. £300, and I was like, I can't justify that. I love them, but I don't love them that much.
And I think half the country was looking for them, weren't they?
No.
No?
No. Half the world to
Half the world, sorry. Yes.
Half the world away, it seemed like for me.
Well, look, just don't look back in anger. Okay? You know, it's one of those things, you know.
Mate, what can I say? Yeah. It flew by. It did. It flew by, and I never got anywhere, and I couldn't justify that. But
you won't get those 6 hours or back.
No chance. But it was an experience.
Next time, join the queue. Sooner.
Sooner, yeah.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m, I think.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Long. Yeah. So, we've had... It's an international break this weekend.
Yes.
And we've already had some games. So some countries are playing 2 games, and some are playing 1. And one thing I noticed, there was a game that was played between San Marino and Liechtenstein. Ooh. And San Marino had been like 20 years without a win. And that win they did get 20 years ago was a friendly against Liechtenstein. So they were feeling pretty confident because Liechtenstein was on a 40-game winless run. So I'm thinking something had to give somewhere. The stars had to align somewhere, and they actually did for sensational Sensoli. Nicko Sensoli, from a teenager from San Marino.
A teenager.
Scored in the second half. I thought it was a foul on the goalkeeper, but just depending on the edge, on the angle.
Oh, you saw the game? You saw the whole game, yeah?
No, I didn't see the whole game.
Okay.
I decided to just check the relevant bits,
Okay.
But the interesting thing wasn't the goal itself, was the post-match celebrations, and they were on the pitch, celebrating. I mean, look, it's not often you see San Marino with a goal, let alone a point, or a draw, but let alone 3 points. So this is the first competitive win for San Marino in their history. In their history, I don't know how long they've been around, but I know they've been around since the early 90s for sure.
Yeah. Well,
and
don't get started on that one.
That brought back memories for another historical thing, because San Marino, I think it was a World Cup qualifier.
Can we move on?
Sorry?
Can we move on very quick?
I'm looking at your shirt there. That's reminded
Hold on,
me that they...
Point again.
They scored, I think, the quickest goal ever scored against England.
Correct, yeah.
In 93. So this would have been the 93. USA 94, which England did not qualify.
No, they didn't, no.
And Gualtieri scored for San Marino, I think, like 8 seconds. 8 to 10 seconds.
It was seriously, stupidly quick.
Kick off, boom, boom, boom. They were talking about how quickly San Marino had conceded against the Netherlands in the previous game.
Yeah, okay.
And Gualtieri scored. In the end, it was 1-7 to England, because they played in San Marino. But that was a flashback. I was in Salisbury at the time, and at university. Not that Salisbury has a university, but it was a franchise course from Bournemouth University to Salisbury College. Great town, great city. I love Salisbury, and and that's that 40 winless run from Liechtenstein. I'm hoping it's going to continue to 41 games, because this weekend is Gibraltar versus Liechtenstein.
Okay, yep.
And Gibraltar had a 1-0 win against Andorra. That was a friendly.
Okay.
So they're feeling quite confident. And so hopefully Gibraltar wins against Liechtenstein. And I made a phone call. Because I was looking at, I was tempted to get this Gibraltar shirt, very similar colour to that red from the England shirt. And it's quite nice. It's actually not that, it's quite good value for money, plus the postage from Gibraltar is under £10 for the rest of the world.
Yeah, you said this the other day. £10?
£10. I'm thinking, but I wanted a size chart. So after my success...
Running theme here.
Size chart after my success with Auckland FC last week.
Yes, yeah.
I thought...
Personal win. That's a great win, that was.
I thought I'd email them, and I thought, you know what? I didn't get a response, or I thought I didn't have a response, so I rang the Gibraltar Football Association. And we checked for the email. She said she couldn't find it. And then she looked in the sent folder, and then she found that Jonathan Ferrari, sounds very similar to Ferrari.
Yeah.
He manages the kits and all that sort of stuff in the shop and stuff like that. He sent me an email, and I couldn't find the email. So I had to go to my spam after suggesting she look for my email in the spam, and both found it. And and I just look, put a size chart that would help, because different brands, Umbro, especially Macron's this is quite a big shirt for what it should be.
Okay.
Different brands have different fits and sizes and stuff like that. So it does help. It does help having a size chart. If you're a club, get a size chart on your website ASAP.
Or
Most
Nick's
of them
after
do
you.
already.
Nick will be coming after
I'll
you.
be coming after you. I'll be calling you.
Or there'll be some bad threads on Reddit for this. There would be.
But I rang. It was good. Finished the call.
Yeah.
What happened? Then the Gibraltar FA Twitter account says, buy your shirts, buy your shirts, buy your shirts. And my size disappeared overnight. So I'm thinking, great, I'm left without the opportunity to get myself a fairly well-priced Gibraltar shirt, which I thought was quite nice. But I should have just bought it anyway. Oh, well, never mind.
We all do this. We all hum and ha over stuff.
It's humming and ahhing, procrastination.
Yeah, but then we spoke about this. I always stutter when I'm thinking. I'm like, right. We always think. We always
that again.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. But it's one of those things. You go, do I need it? Do I not need it? Do I like it?
We don't need it. Will I die if I don't have this? No, I'm not. Okay. No. So, but you know,
I do it. I do it
have.
all the time. I go, shall I not? Shall I? And then it passes you by, and then you go, well, what have I lost?
Exactly right. So anyway, I thought, you know what, it's sold out. Well, there is another one, but I'm not going to mention what type of shirt it is, because then someone else is going to go and rush out and buy it. So we'll see. So based on that, I went back to the Auckland website. Yep. And I saw that they had a supporters flag, just like the ones you can see in the background or here. The Auckland FC new supporters flag. I'm thinking, that'd be a really cool thing to have as a background. Okay. This thing's starting to wear out, so I'm thinking, let's buy it. And it says, can't ship this flag to your country. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Can't ship a flag to the country. So I look at the picture, and it's got a flagpole in it. What? It's got a flagpole in it. So that's why
they sell it with a flagpole.
Well, they sell it with a stick inside the flag. So I'm going to ring up Auckland to see. I'm going to be calling you guys. I'll ask, can you remove the stick from the flagpole and send just the flag? I don't need the stick. I can find a stick here in Australia.
Actually, they're normally bent, but they keep coming back. Yay, look at that one. That's got it in there. Why are they selling them with a stick? I don't understand.
Anyway, so I've already tweeted Auckland FC. They're only following 6 people, so they're a bit mean. I think they need to follow a few more. They should follow a few fans and get that engagement happening. It seems to be one-way traffic at the moment. So come on, guys. Come on, community manager. Yeah. We need you to start following a few more people and engaging with fans and stuff like that. So I think, I'll be calling you next week. Watch out.
He's coming for you.
He's coming.
He's coming for you.
FA. I used to pop into the English FA.
Did you?
In Lancaster Gate at least 3 times. I used to have a friend called Manolita. Yeah. And she's Spanish, surprisingly. And we just pop in and chat and there weren't any coffee places nearby, so we would have gone for coffee otherwise. But she used to give me pins. The FA, UEFA pins in England.
Mate, you surprised me, you do. I thought I had a lot of stories, and then you go, I used to go down to the England's headquarters.
I did. You know what, the smell, I'm not sure if it's had been renovated since, but in the 90s, mid-90s, it was that old smell. You know, that old library?
Yes, wooden smell,
Yeah, that wooden smell on the carpet, the creaking carpet and stuff. Wow. And,
but half of those buildings around London, they've been up for a good couple of 100 years at least.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, so I used to walk in and out of the FA like I owned the place, I'm after Manolita. I'm thinking, she'll be down in a minute.
It's in Soho, isn't it?
No, it's in Lancaster Gate. It's between Bayswater and Marble Arch. It's on the red. It's on the what's the red line called? That's not the district. That's the green one. The red line is the one that goes to Northolt in one end and goes all the way to not Upton Park, but that's one of the. It's on the red line.
What's in Soho Square?
Well, I don't know what
Soho.
I don't know what you were doing in there, but yeah, I don't want to know. Yeah,
I saw. Do you know who Simon Anstel is?
yeah,
Ansted?
great mate of mine. Never heard of him. Go on, who is he? Go on.
He was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment below, please. He used to do never the Buzzcocks. Never mind the Buzzcocks on BBC. He's a comedian, and I remember this. Like me and my ex was walking. It was in Soho Square, walking past him, and he's a bit shorter than me. And I just remember walking past, clocked him, and it was really weird because he obviously knew that he's famous. He knew that I saw him, but then he was a little bit, as he walked past, just a little bit smiley and a bit like. And then as we walked
famous
past,
famous people, just get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, the average commoner like you and me will have to bump into you at some stage.
well, he
We
wasn't.
can't clear the streets. Clear the streets.
Yeah,
I'm coming in.
He wasn't being. Do you know who I am with a look? It was just a bit more. I think
You know who I am.
I think it was more just a bit of like, oh, are they going to talk? Are they not? You know. But walked past and I said to the ex, I said, do you know who that was? She went, no.
I used to live in Nottingham Gate in the good part.
Okay, yeah.
Nottingham Gate, and I remember Norman Lamont,
Oh yeah.
one with the yogurt pot on his head.
Spitting
image.
Spitting image.
Norman Lamont lived just a stone throw away from me.
Yeah.
And I bumped into several times. Do you remember Maid Marian from the Robin Hood movie?
Kevin Costner? Yes.
Yes. Well, she lived in that area.
Oh.
And walked
She
past her
was
several times.
English.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Definitely sounded English, yeah.
Well, no, the only one I think that was English was Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. I will cut his heart out with a spoon. You remember that one?
Potter. Yeah.
So that was those are good times. Living in London, popping into the FA.
Yeah.
Those are different times, of course.
Would you be allowed to do that now, do you think? What year was this?
96, 97.
Oh, so it's quite recent. Right, quite recent then. Well, 96, it's not like, I don't mean to be rude when I say this, it's not like 75 or 80, where anyone can just literally walk in off the street and just go.
No. I walked in, you go up to the reception. There was 2 or 3 people on the reception desk. I always remember I was interested in FA coaching courses and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
So Manolita said, yeah, we've got this one, this is a UEFA course, blah, blah, blah. Because back in those days, remember, you could be a manager of any football team and not have UEFA accreditation.
Didn't have to have anything.
Didn't have to have anything.
Just play the game.
There was a manager in 96 that was signed by Swansea City when they were in League One or something like that, or League Two. And all he'd done was manage the scouts team before.
Okay.
He lasted 7 days. But, hey, you can still put that on your resume, right?
It lasted 7
He did last 7 days. He couldn't take the pressure after a game or 2 games. He must have lost those 2 games for sure.
Wow.
So yeah. So
it's bugging me now. What's in Soho Square to do with football?
Soho Square is the famous Wonkies, Chinese restaurant. The Chinese. It's actually in Wardour Street in Chinatown. It's still there.
Yeah.
And a uni friend of mine called Adam, he said, "Oh, we've got to go to Wonkies. We've got to go to Wonkies for lunch." And what happens? You walk in through the entrance, and they say, "How many are you? How many are you?" And you go, 2. Upstairs now. So they shove you upstairs and stuff like that. And it's great. We had so much fun. We were almost like paid to experience it wasn't bad customer service, but just the way that they wanted to put you upstairs and stuff like that. Soho Square is the address for many boutique movie firms and things like that. So there's a lot of...
I'm sure there's something to do with football there. I'm positive there is.
Definitely not the FA.
No, okay.
So I can tell you that. Unless they've moved there recently from Lancaster Gate, but I doubt it.
No, they're still there. Look, if anyone is listening, tell us. Let us know in the comments. Yep.
Yeah, we'll answer for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. So that's my bit on Auckland and FAs, and I'm all over the place today, aren't I?
That's good. It's brilliant, mate. No, I never knew that you used to just pop in there.
At least 3 times that I remember. Yep.
Wow. But but most people won't do that now. You know, you can't. I think years ago you did. If you wanted to go somewhere, like get your tax disc, you go down to the DVLA, or if you wanted to go to a course, you'd go down to the FA. No one does it now. You phone them up if you're there anyway.
Well, most people would have phoned it up. I just knew someone, therefore I sort of had like passage rights.
Passage rights. You were allowed.
And then I used to live around the corner from there. After Nottingham Gate, I lived in Bayswater.
Yeah.
In Princess Square, in Bayswater.
Okay.
And so I've lived in a few little places around London.
Yeah.
That was
never lived there.
It was a fun time. It was a tough time as well because for different reasons. But I lived in Greenford, Middlesex.
Okay.
West Kensington. So I moved around London a bit, so I know my way around.
Yeah, I travelled there. I've done a bit of travelling up there.
Yeah.
No, not just sightseeing, working. I did a lot of working up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually used to do removals. They used to send us up to Lord Eden. So Anthony Eden's nephew, who was also the MP for Bournemouth, he moved up there, and we used to he was minted. He would have artwork stored in the company that I was working for, and then every so often we'd go up there and just show him what he's got, and he'd go, it's over there. Good. He looked like you watch The Simpsons, don't you? Or you have done.
It's been a long time since I watched it, but yeah, go on then.
Mr. Burns.
Excellent.
He looks like Mr. Burns.
I used to have a boss in the police called. He looked very much like Smithers.
Did you?
And I had another boss who looked like Mr. Burns as well.
Right. But he was so nice. Lord Eden, he was lovely, really nice.
They normally are nice people. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the commoners that think that they're.
Just
Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it is. I do. I think I said this last week. I do miss London because there is that hustle and bustle. There's something different about it.
Yeah, but if you were to get around now, you'd be frustrated driving around London because the ULEZ and all this sort of stuff, and
well, I wouldn't be paying for it if I was working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
yeah,
And
but
you're
all the
you're 100%
traffic,
correct.
Things you're not being able to get in and
Yeah.
out and stuff like that. I always remember when I was there was talk of it. You got to pay £5 a day to get into London. That'd be a
Congestion
bargain
charge
right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was congestion charge. That was.
Congestion charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now the ULEZ was quite weird because those, I don't know if you know this, those ULEZ cameras, they're weirdly positioned. Do you know that? They're
I thought they were up high on a pole.
Oh no, they're normally on the floor pointing up.
Really?
Yeah, after they've been cut down.
Anyway, talking about charges. Oh my gosh.
Moving on,
Moving on. What do you know that I don't? Charges, PSR. You're going to mention something about that.
Excuse me. Yes, I was. So
you heard something new, or did you hear?
Yeah, I
some
did.
new
Well, no,
information?
a news article came up that I thought was quite interesting about Chelsea. They had 150 million. The article was loophole, and it's been authorised by the by the Premier League. See this hand gesture? This means I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, in the meantime.
Tick. So what happened? So they had 2 hotels that they sold. Let's get closer to the mic. Sorry, they had 2 hotels that they sold.
Yeah.
Both of them worth, as I just said just now, a combined of 150.
Yeah.
But the strange thing is,
Yeah.
they sold them to a company owned by the owners of Chelsea.
That's pretty straightforward. Nothing dodgy there.
No.
Sure.
So, but as they stated in the article, and what's in the Premier League rules, I've got to read this one, is that the league rules state that when selling anything, it must be for fair market value.
Fair enough.
How they work that out, I do not know. Obviously, they get an estimator in that comes in, but that's so they got away with 150 mil.
So does that wipe away the debt that they've accumulated, obviously by selling, that they're going to, in Spain we call sanear las cuentas, so sanear is to make it healthy.
Yes.
So their figures, they managed to sort of...
Basically, yeah.
Maybe
So,
escape,
well, you
maybe
think
some-
it's like I said this last time. It's like it's like the tax. You know, it's like a write-off. That's all it is. You write it off. I don't know how long ago it was. I didn't see a date on there. If I did, I glossed over it. But then that makes me think. Then why didn't Forest do it? And who else was it?
Well, I don't think they would have owned any hotels.
Yeah, but like I keep joking, it's like, well, that pitch needs returfing. You know, how much did that cost?
Yeah, but that's an expense, not an incoming.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's still a write-off because everything is written off to do with
yeah,
the
there's
business.
what do you call depreciation,
Yeah,
things like that. But I mean, yeah,
I know
what
that.
you mean. I know what you mean.
I know that how people do things. It's like, who is it?
Is this why it's taken Man City so long? Because they're also trying to sell a few assets here.
Possibly, yeah, I know. With Man City, basically, they stalled, and they're probably trying to cover up something. Look, allegedly,
Allegedly,
yeah.
They'll be after this man here, Man City group.
Randy, I'll have a beer.
Careful, yeah. Well, don't. Well, they're based in Melbourne, so be careful.
But the thing is, it's just one of them. If you can get away with it, anyone will get away with it. There's only so much you can get away with. If there's charges, there's no smoke without fire, for one. And if you've got a really good accountant and you've got someone in charge that can sort things out very, very easily and very well, you're going to do it. Why 115 charges for Man City? I know
we covered that.
I know we're covering old ground, but it's, you know, if you can sell a couple of properties, and that's all it takes within that company.
Well, we'll find out on the 16th.
Yeah, correct.
16th is when they start the court hearings.
Yeah, but I generally thought it was an interesting article because how they can bring things up about, or how someone can get away with selling assets, and it's included in the business model to get within that PSR.
Yeah. Oh well. There you go. And we're going to go over a game. Everton versus Bournemouth.
Non-stop action.
Well, yeah, non-stop action, especially in the latter half. What do you think of it,
mate? Okay, so I watched a portion of that game, and the first half. We're going to talk about Everton a little bit later on, but I thought they played very well in the first half. They couldn't finish that much, to be honest. It was Bournemouth did nothing.
Yeah, they were pretty dead, weren't they? I mean,
absolutely
Everton should have scored
nothing.
maybe a few more goals. And this is it, when you don't take your chances in the Premier League and you don't convert your chances, then you're more likely to get punished, especially if you're only 1 or 2-0 up.
Yeah.
But whoever dreams about being punished when you're 2-0 up in the 87th minute?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if that happened probably second half in the first 10 or 20 minutes of the game, that would have been such an amazing turnaround. Even though it was an amazing turnaround towards the end, and if anything, Bournemouth broke a Premier League record, scoring 3 goals.
From the 87th minute onwards,
I wondered how many people walked. Well, even the gaffer turned around and said that they should have won it.
Everton should have won it. Yeah. I think what happened is that the centre backs and a few key players were just exhausted by the end of that game. Before Bournemouth started scoring, and they were sort of like looking at each other. I thought, you're going to get that ball. No, I thought you should have gone that.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sean Dyche had actually substituted enough players or something like that. I think
I didn't see that. Well, because I watched the 25 minutes.
I just trying to remember whether he'd actually done any proper substitutions, or whether it's just like for like, or just trying to keep fresh legs, You know, if you're 2-0 up,
Yeah.
you want fresh legs because people will get tired. I'm not sure if that was a major criticism, but yeah, I didn't expect that. I said Bournemouth would win 3-1, but I didn't realise it would be under those circumstances.
Look,
I think we both predicted
Yeah.
Bournemouth would win 3-1
Yeah.
away from home. And Everton's not a very successful ground, really, when you think about it. We've
No.
never really... We won once when that season got relegated to the Championship, but other than that, they've all been defeats, I think.
Okay.
So,
But a win's a win. And 86th minute onwards, well, what was it? It was the 82nd minute.
first shot on target for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So it took them that long to register a shot on target, which I as a manager, I would say that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to win games if you can't shoot on target and you leave it till that late?
If that's Man City, or I shouldn't just say Man City, if that's any of the top 5, they're going to bury you in the first. They're going to put the balls away in that first 10, 20 minutes, unlike Everton. So I generally feel that they need to have that rocket up their rear end from the get-go instead of just sitting back and... Well, look, what was the game? What was last week's? We lost We lost in the cup. Who did we play?
West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, who was it before that? I can't remember.
We drew.
Forest, and then it was... Oh, my goodness.
Forest, it was... we played... I'll be able to have a look here.
Yeah. I can't remember now. This is how good...
Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah, 1-1. So we drew 1-1, and that was a late goal for us as such, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we also scored another goal.
Oh, we got disallowed. Admittedly, yeah, it got disallowed, and that happened in the first game as well. But
yeah. But
a win's a win.
A win to win. He's got the first win under his belt. It's only taken 3 games as opposed to 9,
and we haven't lost apart from the cup.
And I noticed something really interesting comparing this stage of the league, match day 3, 2023-24, and this season 24-25.
Okay.
Everton bottom in both seasons, 0 points. Man City top in both seasons, 9 points.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same. You go and check it. Check the table from last year, match day 3. That's what you'll see.
Wow.
Interesting, isn't it?
And they still stayed up. Everton still stayed up.
Still stayed up, and they had that those point deductions.
How many points did they get? Was it 6 or 9?
So I'm gonna confuse it with Forest, but they did get 2 lots of deductions, but they didn't appeal. They appealed the first one, and then they didn't appeal the second lot of. I think it was only 2 points. The second deduction was 2 or 4 points, and because they did pretty well towards the end of last season, they decided not to appeal it because they were already safe. So there's no point to do that. So. But yeah, Cookie, Lewis Cook got his first
goal.
Premier League goal.
Yeah.
And he's the shortest guy in the squad, and he managed to head it
in. Right.
That's why he went like this. So he obviously making a point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But Semenyo, that touch to touch that ball just at the right time to push it into the goal was like, wow, pinpoint accuracy.
Admittedly, it was almost looking like a proper centre forward. Right time, right place, right close to the goal.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And Evan Nilsson already came off before Bournemouth even registered a shot on target.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, but he's probably still getting used to the pace, different pace than the Portuguese league. Portuguese league is Just kidding. Sporting Lisbon fans, don't at me.
No, please comment below. Comment below.
Have a go at Nick.
Yeah.
Look, I think he's still just getting there, but that's all right. Look, patience. I mean, how long did it take Solanke to score a goal?
Yeah. Well, how long does it take most people? It's very rare they come in, not unless they're a high caliber and they're not in the Premier League, when they can literally hit the ground running and keep running. Yeah. There's very few people.
That's it. But no, that was an interesting game. Who scored the last one? Sinistero, the Colombian.
Yes.
So yes, we'll see. Colombia plays Peru. Well, it already actually played Peru
today. Well, today wasn't it?
Yeah, today it was about 11:30, almost midday. In the
Still partying.
well, depending who's won.
Yeah.
Peru is bottom. Actually, Peru was bottom of the table after a few games and stuff. So they haven't been doing too well. I had no intention of talking about Peru, but there you go. I know you've been to Peru.
Peru several times.
And, yeah. So I was going to say, nice shirt, England shirt. Obviously, due to the internationals.
That is correct.
Yes, and we know where that came from previous podcasts.
That mannequin has still got no clothes on to this day.
It refuses to wear anything else.
Yeah, imagine if it's still like, God. Well, it doesn't move its head, does it? It says it.
Oh man, yeah, that was a fun story, wasn't it? And so I'm wearing a different shirt today.
Your top, love it. Actually, I've only just realised that down the sides, obviously they're different. Normally it's matching, isn't it? Obviously, if it's blue, what's the emblem? What's the actual Macron? That's it. Yeah. Macron. Like right side is blue, left side's white.
Yes, I bought this when I was in Bristol 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and I went to the club shop. And they had the away shirt was really nice. It was black with the streaks of mint, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool." But then in the end, I thought, you know what, this is the classical blue and white quarters. The reason, what was I doing in Bristol? I grew up in Bristol as a kid. I went to school in Bristol. The first football shirt I ever put on was a blue and white quarter shirt, but in those days it was made out of heavy cotton with long sleeve. And we used that for football and rugby.
Rugby, wow.
And I still remember. I remember putting it on. If it rained whilst we were playing, it was like, you were like trying to walk back to the school afterwards, like it's wearing you down. So I've got memories. I never bought a Bristol Rovers shirt before, due to, being out here for a long, long time and stuff. So I thought, you know what, now's the time. So I found the Memorial Stadium. Used to belong to the rugby club, and there was an agreement to sign it over to Bristol Rovers if the rugby club went out of business. So it did.
Oh, nice.
And owned by used to be owned by a Jordanian business, Whale, but now it's been overtaken by a Kuwaiti consortium. Whale is still involved. He is still involved with the club. I think he's got 49% ownership. And the Kuwaiti consortium has a 51%. But anyway, I went to the club shop, and it's quite a small club shop. And this was the start of the 22-23 season. This is when Bristol Rovers were promoted from League Two. On the final day of the regular season, they had to beat Scunthorpe United by a margin of 6 goals or more. And they achieved a 7-0 win on the last game. And that, they leapfrogged Northampton Town, and they got automatically promoted to League One. That was just an amazing story. Bristol Rovers. But my first club was Bristol Rovers.
Did they have a size chart for the shirts?
No, I was there in person, so I didn't need it. So I was trying these on. And I noticed this line here, and I'm thinking, oh, it's creased. And I realised, wait a minute, it's actually a map. They've got the streets and stuff like that. So BS7 is the postcode. So anyway, there you go. I thought it was great. I saw the guy, Pete, he runs the club shop, and he let me into the stands and took some pictures and stuff like that. It's almost like I came home after all these years, it was back to my first football memories of putting a blue and white shirt on, blue and white quarter shirt on. And of course I lived in Bristol afterwards when I was a uni student as well.
Okay.
Not just Salisbury, but my final year of uni was at University of West of England, Bristol, which is also near the place I was living as a kid. It was in French Road. So
okay. I was actually going to say something about Salisbury,
Go on,
It's
then.
a little. Some lad told me once that.
Let me guess. This is when a Salisbury City scout scouted you from Paul Borough. And they wanted to sign you, and you were in negotiations, and you were sort of,
No.
you couldn't agree on the fee and stuff like that.
I wish there was a fee. Christ. So. No.
Good try, Nick.
It was. It was when I was working out at Salisbury Plains, or actually at Tidworth Army Camp, and then one of the lads in the minibus said, "Did you know that Salisbury Cathedral spire is actually below sea level?"
BS. British Standard.
British Standard. And then someone went, "Well, what about that river that runs beside it? Is that below sea level as well?" Because he was like,
Oh.
that's how someone can make that up. I thought about that when you told me about when you went to uni there. I was like, I remember that.
I remember when I went there, Salisbury had, I'm not sure what the population is now, but it had about 44,000 people.
44,000.
And it had 150 pubs.
150 pubs?
150 pubs in Salisbury. Pretty much one in almost every corner.
Every corner, yeah.
And the thing about that is just being an Australian, there's nothing that compares. Because you go to the Wigan Quail, for example, in Salisbury, right? It's just one of the many pubs, but Wigan Quail, I think, dates from the 1300s.
Oh, see, you don't
And
get that
that's
here.
not the oldest one. But, I mean, it's the one that I used to go for my liver and onions, for my toad in the hole, for my Yorkshire puddings, all the good stuff from English cuisine.
Yeah.
People say English don't have a cuisine. Come on, guys. Everything I've mentioned is like
Corned beef hash.
corned beef hash with baked beans on the side. Yeah.
No, I've actually, I think I've been, me and Tan, we've been to the oldest pub in London, or I think it's in the UK, which is in London. Don't quote me on that. I'll say London.
Is it a Tudor-looking one?
Yeah, very, very old, very Tudor looking. Yeah.
I've heard of that.
I can't remember. Yeah, again, comment below.
Which is the oldest pub that you've been to in England?
Yeah.
Let us know. It doesn't have to be England. It can be Wales as well.
England, please do not. We don't associate with them. Then, no, I'm only joking. I got relations in Wales.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say. We'll cut that bit out. All right. No, yeah. So they'll probably go, what? Anyway, yeah.
I was in Wales also. The same time that same day, I was making my way back from Wales to pop into the Memorial Stadium, and I was in Cardiff, I was just outside Cardiff City Football Stadium.
Okay, yeah.
And I loved it. I loved Wales. I was there for a few days. Did a coal mining trip. And,
that's
went
brilliant.
To Castle Goch in near the north of Cardiff. It's a really brilliant-looking boutique castle kind of thing. This is it. When you go over from Australia back to the UK, you try and take in as much culture as you can.
Yeah,
because there's not that much. There is culture here, but it's of a different type. It's not that historical,
not
building-based kind of culture. You know, you've got beautiful beaches and beautiful national parks here in Australia, but when it comes to stuff that's been built and crafted and stuff like Castle Kocher had the wonderful old style kitchen from the Middle Ages, and it had the
okay,
the Arga,
yeah,
you know, the Arga,
the Arga, yeah,
and it had all these old pots and pans everywhere and stuff. And
wow,
I remember I went to Fyvie Castle in Scotland in 2016, and they had the old style kitchens and the you put your plates in and then you wheel it up to the
the dumbwaiter. The dumbwaiter they're called, aren't they? Yeah,
I have no
dumbwaiter.
idea what it's called, but I'm thinking, people came up with some really clever stuff in those days.
Can I just stop you there? Did you want to get in that dumbwaiter? Did you want to get in it and just...
No, it's too small.
Why is it only me? I'm like, I could fit in there. I could pull myself up.
That's weird.
No, you'll find most people that go, I'll have a go.
I thought I don't fit. End of story.
How big? Yeah. Question is though, how big was it? If it was only this,
it was like that and maybe about that. So you open the door, you put your stuff in, shout, whatever, and then someone would pull up.
Whoa! Yeah.
Yeah, very, very eloquent, very quaint. Fyvie Castle is fantastic. This is it. I just have that craving for old stuff.
I've done. Oh, where did me and Tarn's done Snowdon. I've done Holyhead a couple of times, and actually got on the ferry. But Snowdon, I've gone there. That's really nice. I've done it.
nice,
I've been there winter time, and I've been there summertime. Actually, it was this camera, this one here, that Nick's. Hold on. That one there.
All right.
Sorry, that this one here. That well, camcorders are excellent. This is where I'm going to get a bit tech with you. So we're coming down from Snowdon, and I could see in the distance, I could see someone as if like they were walking on top of a mountain or almost floating. I was like, what is that? Got the camcorder, zoomed in. There's someone on a tightrope. Like it is suspended over such a long distance, and they're tightrope walking across.
Was it a windy day?
It's always windy there. Windy. Yeah, they were doing really well. I'll try and find it out for you, right? And just show you it. Obviously not here, but just for yourself.
Don't bother putting answers.
No, just for you. And you'll just be amazed. You'll go, it's on my desktop somewhere, and you'll go, why? How? They were tied on. I couldn't tell you if it was a girl or a boy because of the distance, but it was such a weight, and they were doing really well. It was so high up, it was ridiculous.
I've walked up Snowdon.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, just walked up to the base of the little railway thing, and then just took the train up to the top. My sister's actually walked it. She called me a cheat. A cheat by taking the railway.
Using your brains, I call it.
Oh, great.
Well, I thought, okay, so I climbed a proper mountain, and I genuinely thought, because I've done Snowdon a few times, I thought when this was in Bolivia, they go, it's the easiest 6,000 metre mountain you're ever going to climb.
6,000 metres?
6,088.
Snowdon doesn't even compare.
No, that's it. Yeah, but I never walked.
Snowdon's what, 1,000 maybe, or 1,200?
I never walked, yeah, something like that. I never actually walked 6,000. We were already about
2,000 above.
No, it was
3,000 probably.
Probably about 4.
That's what the Bolivian national team has an unfair advantage when they play their qualifying games in La Paz or Sucre or wherever it is that they play them. Is nice. That a lot of the teams just wear out.
Well, yeah, but now for international games that are non-friendly, they're not allowed to play. It's a FIFA rule.
That is British standard again.
No, it's FIFA ruling. It got.
Yeah. Well, what happens if you're an island nation and you play underwater? I mean, what's the you've got to play underwater. I mean, this is it. This is where we play.
I think that's called water polo. Yeah, but FIFA ruling because they.
So what? Bolivia can't play anywhere in Bolivia then?
Well,
I'm getting a bit heated up about this. What does FIFA should dictate?
Yeah, no, because Brazil lost a game.
Oh, Brazil! It had to be
in
one
La
of the
Paz.
big teams.
Yeah, they lost it. I think they lost 3-1 to Bolivia, and FIFA
complained.
I don't know. I actually don't know the ins and outs of it, but all I know is that they said now there's only a certain limit of height that you can play, and I actually don't really know if there's anywhere lower than 1,500 meters. I don't actually know.
Most people will be able to play because I mean, Madrid itself is the highest capital in Europe.
Is it?
And they are roughly 1,500 or so meters above sea level.
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's nothing. Because I've got a watch somewhere. I actually pulled out of the drawer that actually tells you how high you are. And this was back in 2011. So the phones, I don't even think were intelligent enough to do that then. But there was a pitch at 4,000 meters. It wasn't a stadium. Yeah, it wasn't a stadium. It was just like a normal pitch, like a school pitch.
Yeah.
And I was driving on this rickety bus on an old rickety road.
I'm sorry, I don't like that. I don't like FIFA should say, oh, you can't do this. So we should be able to play wherever we want. If there's a stadium, okay, you can say the stadium has to have lighting, blah, 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 seating, all this sort of stuff, the standards. But telling them, oh, you can't because it's not fair, I'm thinking, well, come on. Send a younger team to play us. They've got more oxygen in their lungs and stuff rather than... I don't know.
I don't even know if that's fair or not. I really don't. I do think that it's probably an advantage for them.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I did say at the start it was an unfair advantage, but I mean, now I'm sort of backtracking, really, aren't I? Oh, how dare FIFA say... Oh, wait a minute. I said, believe we have an unfair advantage.
Well, actually, saying that, no, I think that's fair. No, I don't know, mate. 4,000 metres. Well, actually, saying that, La Paz, what is it? It's 3.5, what I remember.
So you've been there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been there, yeah. Actually, my ex got out. No, I got altitude sickness. My ex was actually in hospital there, and I actually remember walking through La Paz. It was actually beautiful place. I don't know why I brought that up. That's not even football specific.
Yeah,
but
we're talking about country, the thing.
Yeah, but there, I actually walked past their stadium, and you can see it. Obviously, La Paz is in a bowl. La Paz is it's a stunning place, and you can see everything. You can see everything in the city centre. It's beautiful. But yeah, walking through it, I'd miss it. I genuinely miss travelling, mate. I think we're at that age now, aren't we, where we're not allowed.
Not allowed. I was going to ask you, so you've been to Peru, you've been to Bolivia, you've been to a few other places and stuff like that. What's your favourite
Isle of Wight, been there.
Isle of Wight. Oh. You know what? I went to the Isle of Wight too.
Did you?
2022 again. I went everywhere in the UK. I went to Shetland Islands. I went to Land's End. I went to Isle of Wight. I went to Wales and Aberdeen. And
obviously, they let you out of the Isle of Wight. I got told after like 6 o'clock they shut everything down. Is that true?
Well, we managed to get out just before 6 o'clock.
There's bells. I heard there's bells. Bong. Everyone looks up and they get scared. They like scatter like rats.
Not that they are rats.
No, I never said they are rats.
Just just to make sure. Yeah.
Comment below, please. Are they rats? So yeah, how was it?
I went to Osborne House.
Oh, where's that?
That's very close to Cowes.
Okay.
That Queen Victoria used to go there quite a lot.
Oh,
and
there.
Then I went to Carisbrooke Castle, which is again quite close, and then went to Newport. Went to Newport and bought myself fish and chips at the oldest fish and chip shop in the Isle of Wight from 1890 something. Spent about over 40 quid on fish and chips.
40 quid on fish. That's a lot.
I was buying for several, but I mean, it's just one of those old fish and chip shops.
5 spuds, 40 quid.
No, it was a lot more than
was
that.
It?
There was cod and there was battered sausage. And
okay.
I'll let you off. And then there was, there was. I always love what's it called? A battered saveloy and what do they call it? Cod roe. Battered cod roe. But not every fish and chip shop did that, and these guys didn't. I think they did actually. I must have had a cod roe. I love it.
That's something I miss over here, a proper fish and chip shop.
Well, there used to be a few scattered around. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. They all disappeared.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Unless you go to a country town or in New South Wales or somewhere that's out of the way, you'd be hard pressed. There used to be one in Nottingham near Chatswood.
Okay.
That was there for a while, but then they disappeared as well.
There is a couple round this area, and we go to one, George's Chicken, round the corner. They're all right. There's a chippy up the road on the Grand Parade. I think was it the Grand Parade? Well, it's opposite the beach. It's all right, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Not those uneven cut chips. You get all sorts of sizes and stuff like that.
They don't do vinegar over here. See, I like salt and vinegar. I love salt and vinegar.
Salt and malt vinegar.
Yeah, they don't do it over here.
That's the flavour you grow up with, isn't it? Salt and vinegar and, the old wooden forks. The 2-pronged wooden forks. We're talking about food and travel. I mean, this is great.
Did I tell you what happened when Tarn's parents came over? It must have been the first time. Surely it was the first. Anyway, they came over here and they go, right, want chips. So I took them up to Just Hook, the one opposite the beach. And Chris Tarn's dad went, how many shall I get? Oh, you better get 2 large portions of chips. I go, they're not that big here. He goes, really? He goes, 1 large should be enough for just all of us. We're not going for a big. I said, no, get 2. Well, they came out and they could have fed.
5,000.
Yeah, the feed the 5,000. It was literally that. And then he looked at me and I went, I didn't want 2 large portions. I only wanted the one. He brings it up every time. He goes, oh, make sure he doesn't go and buy chips.
Send someone else.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. So,
But no, you were saying, I interrupted you there, mate, back then, because I've done a lot of South America. You can't pinpoint it. You can't pinpoint the best place. There's so many good spots.
like for fish and chips in South Africa.
No, you don't go for the food in Bolivia.
Right.
You don't, and I don't mean that with any disrespect
What
in the
do they
slightest.
eat there? Do they eat
Well,
mainly
no.
beans and rice and stuff? Or?
If you're okay, I'm a big believer when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Right? You eat
Pizza.
You eat pizza, which is the worst food to eat in Bolivia. We were in Salta, I think it was. Oh, it's where the silver mines were. I was actually just getting over altitude sickness then, and the menu comes up. It's in Spanish or English, and it was pizza. And you go, okay, pizza.
You can't go wrong with pizza.
You can't,
You
mate.
think you can't go wrong.
No, but this pizza came out, and it looked stunning. But unfortunately, it was still not cooked in the centre. The outside was cooked. They must have put it in a microwave. They're really not good at cooking Western food at that time. I don't know what it's like now.
Probably better.
But then saying that, in La Paz, I went to the highest. There was some lovely places in La Paz. The food there was absolutely amazing. Right. So I went to the highest Indian restaurant in the world. Excuse me. And I also went to a Mexican restaurant, and the food was absolutely stunning. In La Paz, it's brilliant. And there's a Burger King in there. Hungry Jacks to you Aussies. And the food, I would like to point out, is exactly the same as anywhere else.
What, the Burger King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're told to do, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no deviation. There's no nothing. It is exactly the same. Which,
when you're travelling, if you're travelling, you should have some sense of adventure to try something even remotely different.
But then my ex
But sometimes there's the comfort of knowing what you're getting.
Yeah, but they also tell you don't eat from street vendors because my ex got salmonella poisoning. Yeah, it was salmonella poisoning from a street vendor.
Did she eat chicken?
I think it was a burger.
Burger.
Yeah, they just get. They're just their stomachs are ironclad.
Yep.
Westerners are not.
No.
So that's why they say stay away from street vendors. When I was going to climb the mountain, in the streets there was like a food market, and to keep the fish cool, they were actually on the street. There was meat, there was fish. The smell was a bit bad, and I can't remember where that was now. But anyway, they were just throwing water on it to keep it cool because of the high altitude and the sunlight hitting it, instead of putting it in shade.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Any other football news?
Well, we were chatting earlier on about the Everton being at the bottom and City being at the top. In the league at the moment, well, I've got 2 points. One's not really relevant, but it's about Manchester United, how badly they're performing at the moment. Yep. Which really everyone still thinks that. Well, they don't think that it's one of those. It's like how Liverpool were in the 80s, how great they were and how they faded off. It's exactly the same with Manchester United. You know, they were so great up until a point. You would just expect better from them. They lost to Liverpool last week 3-0. You know, it just looks like that they're not going to get back to their previous great self. So, well, they've played 3 games, lost 2, 1-1. So,
who did they lose to? They lost to. Did I ask you a question?
You did, and did I write it
just
down?
make it up. No, I'm just kidding.
So they lost to Liverpool. I know that.
Lost to Liverpool. I've got match day 2 here. 1 second.
No, I haven't got that
lost to
written down.
Brighton.
Brighton, okay.
So which one did they win? Let's guess. Ipswich, Leicester, West Ham, Palace, Fulham. Who knows? Answers on a postcard.
Yeah, yeah. So I brought that up, not having the full facts, but it's a shame, really.
Early days, though.
Yeah, it is early days, but it's still a shame that you'd expect a bit more.
It's not a shame. It's not a shame that they're losing. I actually enjoy them not winning.
No, that's City now.
You know what? I still don't care about City. The fact that Manchester United for so many years just beat everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not upset or disappointed when they lose.
Okay. But I think
for City is different. For City is different. They've been the underdogs to Manchester United for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand why people think, obviously City is the team to beat. I think City is the only team Bournemouth haven't gotten any points against in the Premier League still.
Okay.
So not even a draw. They came close a couple of times, 1-0 last year. And remember that time when Charlie Daniels scored that absolute screamer from the edge of the 18-yard box?
No.
It came in off the post and in. That was they were 2-1 ahead.
Wow.
That was 1-0 to Bournemouth. That was a few years ago. That was before COVID. But Bournemouth have yet to get a point from Man City.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the only team in the Premier League. And obviously whenever Ipswich, Bournemouth haven't played Ipswich in the Premier League yet. So obviously that'll be another team in the Premier League that they haven't got points on yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So I used to love Ipswich. In the 80s, early 80s, they won the UEFA Cup under Bobby Robson.
Wow.
And that was the days of Mick Mills and Paul Mariner and Terry Butcher and quite a few of those players made the England squad for the '82 World Cup. And that was a fantastic Ipswich team. And I used to like Ipswich.
Again, it's one of those things. They're good for the stars align, the manager's there, the players are there, and then they just fade.
Yeah.
Like every team. It's going to happen to City. If it doesn't, that'll be unbelievable, but it's going to happen to every single team.
They still won titles without Pep, didn't they? Because Pellegrini was there when they won their first title.
Yeah.
And after Pellegrini, I can't remember who won, if they won any titles.
No,
until
I don't.
Pep came.
They came up. When did they? I can't even remember when they came up. Now it was
Man
City. Yeah.
I remember were they playing QPR in the last game of the season? They had to win that game, and they won. That was at Pellegrini. I think they won 3-2. It was one of those games where QPR scored, and I think Barton scored, and then City scored and stuff like that. And it was a bit of a topsy-turvy game.
Yeah.
But that would have been, was it 2009, 2010? Can't remember.
I have.
In the comments, please.
Down
below.
We'll
answer them. We promised to answer the first 500 comments.
Yeah, we only got to 450 last week, didn't we? Well, that yet again then brings me on to Everton again and Southampton. At present in the Premier League, they failed to win a game, so they're both on 0 points.
I'm doing this as a Bournemouth fan.
Especially Southampton, yeah. 0 points. Everton, Brighton was 3-0, Spurs was 4-0, Bournemouth was 2-0. Oh no, 3-2, sorry, forgot that, because they were doing so well. And that, mate, brings me on to the point of they haven't won a game yet. The last game against Bournemouth, they were doing really well, and it really looked like they were going to win it up until the last point. I bet they were like going, first 3 points, back of the net, 86th minute, okay, it's only 1 goal. Then the second goes in, then the third, and they're like, fans must have been devastated. They probably thought they had it in the bag.
When that third goal went in with Sinisterra, have a look at the behind the goal in the stand. As soon as Sinisterra scored that goal, a whole bunch of supporters up and left.
No way.
Have a look at that. Have a look at it.
I did not see that.
He scores the goal, and all of a sudden, all these Everton fans
Say that again.
stand up.
Everton. That's
Everton.
I get tongue-tied. That's me that normally does that. Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that you have a look at that again, 86 minute or whenever it was, and Sinisterra scored. You'll notice as soon as that ball goes in the back of a net, you see in the background.
Wow.
Ready to move out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. And they
It wasn't just one or two, it was a few hundred for sure.
Sure it wasn't the last bus home?
No. That was still daylight, wasn't it?
Well,
But, yeah.
that's amazing. That is genuinely amazing, mate. I did not know that. So you think that's the sort of thing you've
That was
got.
the
You've
last
got
one,
something.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. You've got whatever you got in your. I'm not joking now, but it's going to seem like a joke. You got food in your hand. You got drink. You just throw it on the floor, and that's it. You're gone. Well, look at its other end of the country. Southampton. Who did they play? It was Brentford 3-1, Forest 1-0. Up to Glenn, right? And Newcastle 1-0 as well. So they haven't gotten any points so far. So, and my uncle and cousins
Are they,
Southampton.
Are they, okay, yep.
Yeah. So, is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Will they be going down?
Yes.
They will.
Yes.
Three
Do you know
games
why?
in.
Because they have the snake.
They've got the snake. Who was that again? What was his name?
Come
I
on.
can't. That made me laugh last week.
The one and only Ryan Fraser.
That's
The
it.
backstabber. The snake. There's
Yeah.
only one snake in the Premier League.
Right, funny. But yeah, so is that things to come? You know, Everton and Southampton, are they going to be the first people to drop out of this league, especially with it's early days. Before anyone says we haven't got a crystal ball.
What do you guys know?
Yeah, we know nothing.
We know nothing.
No, nothing. No habla inglés.
On those trays.
Under we. No.
You can tell we're having fun here, can't you?
Yeah, we just make up a language. Galathi Dara Hoha. And that was the player from last week. See,
I
dos.
can say that again if you want.
No. I have
Just
no
like
idea.
you last week saying, did we tell the story when I bumped into Graham Souness at Tesco? I said, no. I've heard it already.
He was so no. Right.
So, sorry, I'm going to try and veer this back to football.
Yes.
England versus Ireland.
Yes.
So I noticed you're wearing an England shirt, so I'm obviously, I'm assuming you're going to talk about the England-Ireland game.
Very briefly, because I'll be honest with you, I hate watching the England games because they're boring. And that's not me trying to be funny or clever. They just don't excite me.
I've only got one question.
What's that?
Do you think Mark Travers will start in goal?
I'm going to say all four of them will. Don't know, mate.
England will definitely not win then.
No,
Or
don't know.
maybe that's
Don't know.
counterproductive.
Yeah. Look, the team, I generally think that they, for the last few years, I know we talk about England and I think, well, we have spoken about England when Southgate was in, and basically you didn't really like how he.
Something like his style.
Yeah, but I don't like anyone's style because they've played. They don't play that well. They don't play like a Premier League team.
I think they should just do what the old Greece of 2004, the European, the Euro 2004 when they won it. Just take a bunch of nobodies from England, with no egos, no status. Don't you know who I am? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just mold them into a team. Just take a bunch of unknowns or relatively unknowns.
Yeah. Then
it takes a very brave manager to do that.
Yeah. What's 7 days? Who was that fella that lasted 7 days? That'll be the next manager. That's why I still think the FA just say this is what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, they I mean, just knowing the halls of Lancaster Gate personally, this is it.
That's
You
true,
smell
yeah.
that wood and go,
Yes, we need someone who's very reliable and very mouldable.
a mouldy ball. Mouldy,
As they're folding their tash, or they're looking down at the monocle. They're going, oh yes.
Oh man, yeah. Some people just don't get with the times, do they?
Yeah.
But I think for someone to do that at the FA, first they wouldn't get the job anyway, because even if they mentioned that was their intention, they go, no, you've got to include our stars.
Yeah.
We are the FA and stuff, and so it's not going to happen. It might happen in Greece, it might happen in Moldova, other.
They just get the local plumber in.
Well, that's probably what Gualtieri was, is the guy who scored the goal against England for San Marino.
Well, that brings. Sorry, mate. I'm going to divert slightly.
We're going back to the San Marino. Thing, aren't we?
Yeah. There was a lad that there was an advert placed on Teletext, wasn't there? And
Teletext.
Yeah, Teletext, and he got the job as a player or something. I can't remember the full story. But yeah, he applied, and I think they've made a film out of him or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a person out of the blue.
Yeah, well, obviously they this is going to sound stupid. I'm not trying to take the mickey here. Obviously they can play a little bit, but yeah, he got.
Talking about that, on a similar thing, I remember getting the Mirror or whatever newspaper it was, and it was during the summer period when West Ham was playing some friendlies.
Yeah.
Right, and I can't remember which friendly this was, but Harry Redknapp was still number 2 to Billy Bonds.
Yep.
So it would have been about 96 or so. And there was a guy mouthing off at...
I know what you're going to say. I heard this story 3 days ago. Go on, go.
Yeah, he was mouthing off at how useless they were. So Harry Redknapp comes up to him and said, do you think you can do any better?
He was slagging off Chapman.
I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, who was married to Leslie Ash.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I remember opening out, and then the Mirror had like several photos of the guy putting the shirt on, and he actually did quite well.
Yeah, yes.
So tell me what you know, because I need to fill in the gaps.
It was actually from Harry Redknapp. I actually phoned him up. I went, here, Harry. No. Right. So what?
Should have continued.
Oh, my boy, how's it going? The story was that this lad was behind the dugout and he was just giving out to Harry Redknapp and the staff, saying, take him off, he's rubbish, he's this, he's doing that, he's not any good. And then someone turned around, I think it was Harry, and said, do you think you can do any better? He went, hey? Do you think you can go out there and do any better? He went, yeah. Like that. Went out there, scored a goal.
He scored a goal?
He scored a goal, right?
No
and
way.
Even, I can't remember the fella's name. Chapman, what was his first name?
Mark Chapman.
Is it Mark Chapman? Right.
That's the guy that killed John Lennon, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. That's my boss as well. No, that's right.
He was also a great footballer. Great with a gun.
Great on target.
Yeah, he's always on target. We should say, we can't have that as a short, no way. Right, no.
Right, just keep going.
Keep rolling. And even he said after the game, he said, Chapman went, yeah, he goes, I wasn't that good. He goes, I'm glad I got taken off. Yeah, and this fella scored a goal. I don't know, I can't remember if they won or anything, but...
I don't think it was a great rival.
No.
Because the surrounding or where they were playing, it didn't look like it was a proper stadium.
Okay. So it must have been a friendly or something.
Probably down at Tattenham Park or something. Maybe play against Paul Bower or something.
I was just about to say that. It's probably up Turley Moor.
One way in, one way out.
Yeah, one road in, one road out. Yeah.
If you're from Turley Moor, leave us a comment.
Yeah. A nice one, please. A nice one. We love you in Turley Moor. We do. We do. No, I don't. It's funny, they got a Lidl there. Or was it an Aldi? I can't remember, so it's all good.
I think it's a Lidl.
Is it? Yeah. Actually, I got a lad I used to work with. He lives in so
Trinidad Estate.
Maybe? No. He turns around and says, "Oh, I live in Hamworthy," right? And you go, "Okay, Hamworthy," right? And he goes, "I live over the road from the Lidl," and you go right by the railway bridge like that, and everyone's going, "Hamworthy, where's Where's the Lidl? Where's the railway bridge in Hamworthy by the Lidl? It's like everyone's thinking. He goes, yeah, I live on so and so road, and we all went, that's Turling Moor. That's right. Oh, and he was a little bit embarrassed.
Oh, is he trying to mask it, saying, "Oh, I live in a better end of town" or
yeah,
something?
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You go, oh yeah.
Don't mention Hamworthy. I mean, I just the colour of the shirts, claret and blue. I mean,
I told you I'm going to get my Villa shirt, mate. When I go back to the UK again, or I'll try and get it sent over. I love, secret Villa fan.
secret Villa fan. Arsenal, Villa. Any other teams?
Uh,
La Paz FC.
No, mate. That's it. Literally, I'm only a secret Villa fan just because I got two mates that support them, Chris and Big C, Big Colin. Yeah, friends of the family. They're both Villa supporters. So
Yeah. Well, obviously the passion rubs off, I suppose.
yeah. But they had a great team back in like 92, 93.
Is that when what's his name?
Ron
the
Atkinson.
Aussie
Oh,
goalkeeper.
Bosnich.
Bosnich.
Yeah.
He was in that.
He
in
was.
that team, wasn't he? They had Dwight York. Did
Dwight York,
go,
Daly
was there
and
first,
Atkinson.
then he went to Manchester United. Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's correct. Yeah.
Dean what?
Dean Saunders, Daly and Atkinson. There was a defender. Dion Dublin. He was there, but I don't know if he was there at that time.
Because Dean Dublin interviewed Reginald from Atlanta.
Did he?
Yeah, a few seasons back.
Wow.
Yeah. We interviewed Reginald ourselves. So
Yeah.
a few episodes back. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah. Kevin Richardson, I think his name. Or was that a speedway rider?
Probably a very versatile person.
My brain is very hazy around about that time. Mate, no, it was it's just because they support them, but I don't support them.
That was a good squad actually. That
Yeah.
was Bosnich was fantastic when he
Amazing.
played for Villa.
I think he lives in Sydney, doesn't he now? I'm sure he does.
I've seen him a couple of times at some Sydney FC games, commentating on the sidelines, especially when I went to watch them play Adelaide United.
Okay.
Sydney FC versus Adelaide at Cogra, and we had seats right at the front. And
See, we
Bosnich
should
was
go and
just
do that. You and me should go over there.
Yeah, you can't lug all this equipment though, can you?
Mate, handheld. Everything's going to be handheld. Look, ready,
know
watch.
what?
Oh no,
what?
it's that one. Hold on. It'll be handheld.
That
So
one.
it'll just be. Oh, look.
I was going to say Auckland FC play their first Sydney-based game against MacArthur, and that's in sometime around early November or something like that.
Are you going?
I might, if I can get that flag without the pole.
See, there should be no joke, right? If they should go right, okay, they're coming over. This is gonna sound comical. Kill two birds with one stone. There's a flag for Nick. There's a jersey for them. What I'm gonna do? Stick it in someone's kit bag.
Bring it over.
Bring it over.
Just let us know where you.
Come to the ground.
Oh man.
You could do that if
You know what I'd do? I set up a Auckland FC supporters group for Sydney,
yeah.
and then we'll have some members in Auckland and say, look, we'll send you some stuff.
Sponsored by Focal Point Fire.
That was funny.
That was brilliant, mate. That was amazing. That
Took me ages to draw that Auckland FC logo. So yeah, I'm glad someone got some enjoyment out of that.
That was brilliant. It's like, it's fell off. No, okay. So they're playing. When's that game?
I have written it down in a PDF, and I can tell you, but not straight away.
Well, look, mate, we should try and aim to go out there then.
I think so.
I mean?
It'd be good. It would also be nice to interview some Auckland FC fans. What's it like to interview some fans of a newly established team?
Okay.
And I think that would be really interesting because
So, hold on. So we're going to be interviewing ourselves.
No, I can tell you what.
Go on.
Auckland.
Yeah.
FC play MacArthur at Allianz Stadium on
okay.
Saturday the 23rd of November, so it's the end of November.
I just serviced their coffee machine in there.
In where, Allianz?
I wonder. Okay, I'll tell you what.
No, don't think it. You might get sacked.
No, I won't get sacked. I wonder if I can...
You'll get roasted like the coffee beans. Yeah. But look, that's okay. Look, tickets are normally about $20 each.
Okay, right. I'll see if I can have a word. I don't know. This is probably.
No, don't get into trouble.
Well, no, I'm not going to get in trouble. No, I'm not. We're not sneaking in.
No, we can't rely on YouTube yet for income. So,
Oh no, because my company, not my company personally, they can get games to the Roosters that play there. Right. I just wonder if I can ask. Actually, we can get a no.
Sunday the 24th. Sorry, Sunday the 24th of November at 4 p.m.
All right.
But that's the same time as our thing comes out. So this will have to be an extra special episode or something.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Then what time?
Next week
what time?
I'll take it off. Hey.
What time is it? Normally the games.
The games.
Yeah. What does it tell you? What time? Like 4 o'clock.
Well, this one's at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
You know when you just said that actually comes out on the same time as
our YouTube.
our YouTube, and then I asked you what time.
I said 4 o'clock, didn't I? Or no, I didn't.
You did tell the time, and then I asked you, and you went, it come out on the same time as when our podcast come out, and it. Hold on.
I've got here.
Don't know. There's a lot of chlorine in that, mate. There's a lot.
I know. You should get a filter, actually.
Don't get me started on a filter.
Oh no!
Right,
what?
We've got a filter, so there's no chlorine in this. So, right, so. We're really health conscious, me and the missus. That's why I bought chocolate hobnobs just now, right? Okay. And we'll cut that bit out.
Yeah.
And we're actually looking last night on an alkaline filter, on a complete filter system.
Oh yeah.
And that's an absolute minefield. We've got the Brita filter, which has got charcoal in and everything else, and then we're on about getting an alkaline one. An alkaline one. Then I started talking about hydrogenate that gives it hydrogen water as well. Talking about that as well, and it's like.
Yeah. Well, the further you go down, the more expensive they are. So you've got to draw the line somewhere. I bought a ceramic one.
Yeah.
Ceramic filter, $300. This was a few years ago. All we've got to do is change the filter once a year.
Yeah.
And
mate, I'll be
I'm sounding like Sean Dyche now. I've got a croaky voice.
That's the water.
It's the water.
Something in the water, Sydney water.
So that's I thought it was a great investment, but yeah. So we've covered quite a lot today, haven't we?
And I think there's one more thing that we have to cover.
Right.
125 years.
Oh yes. See, I was going to forget that for a second week in a row. Okay, so
and you were relying on this dimwit to actually.
AFC Bournemouth.
Yes, correct.
2 weeks ago now, because I was going to mention it last week. 125th anniversary.
Yes.
They released obviously the £125 shirt. 40.
I just nutted the microphone.
Probably the box was worth about £5, but it's a bit polished and gloss it over and say anything's impossible. I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, with the exception of that, when you went out on the pitch and the Daily Echo and all that sort of story.
Did I tell you that?
What other? Yes, you did. You did, along with the Graham Souness story. What other memory? Family-friendly memory. You don't have one, do you?
I don't. I don't.
Okay, tell us the Vinnie Jones thing then. Go on.
Okay, Vinnie Jones, Wimbledon versus Bournemouth.
Was it a league game or was it?
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember.
Okay.
I got tickets through mate used to play for Bournemouth, Sean Marr.
Oh.
Okay. Got that, and so obviously Vinny's his normal self. He's getting on a bit playing. It's towards the end of his career. A penalty awarded at the South End for Wimbledon. And then everyone's giving hand gestures towards Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones picks up the ball, puts his hand up and puts it on the penalty spot, mucks around, whatever he does, puts it in the back of the net. And, of course, to be honest, everyone cheers. Even the South End, they're applauding and everything. Vinnie turns round, drops his shorts, shows the world...
Two cheeks.
His two cheeks, his rear end, shows his rear end. And then with that, joking here goes, Vinny, off. like that, right? Gets him off because along the front row is all the kids and the disability stand, isn't there? Yeah.
Oh no!
So he came off straight away, and it was in the second half, but it wasn't like say 70th, 80th minute. It was what I remember. So that was my that's my best bit.
Best bit.
Yeah, because yeah. What's
Right,
yours then, my friend?
I guess I've got several. I mean, I can't really go past the Leeds thing, can I? That was the introduction to AFC Bournemouth. But putting that aside, because I've already mentioned it, that's with when Reginald was with us.
Yeah.
I think the Great Escape season.
Okay.
That was 94, 95, and the reason I remember that obviously is because I was the final year I was at uni in Bristol, and I was in halls of residence, so there was 6 other rooms in our unit, so to speak, and 3 of those other 6 people were big football fans.
Yep.
Norwich City, Warsaw / Birmingham.
Okay.
And Carlisle United.
Wow.
And all 3 of them throughout the whole season, because we started off really badly, and throughout that whole season, my final year of uni, they just kept going. In the was it Jo Brand, the comedian? Jo Brand.
Oh, the female. The female. Yeah, Jo Brand. Yeah.
She's going down. So they were saying to me, going down, Bournemouth going down, and like, you know, once or twice, yeah, whatever. But that's every time the match of the day was on, or whatever, the equivalent of League One, whatever it was back in those days. It's just tiring. So the fantastic turnaround we had in especially the last 3 games that we won, all 3. We beat Cambridge United, we beat Brentford away at Brentford.
I don't remember any of the games.
And then the final game was Shrewsbury Town.
Yeah, so I remember that. Yeah.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is unbelievable. This is such a turnaround, and I felt so proud to be a Bournemouth fan. And I put the big AFC Bournemouth sticker on the outside of my, in the inside, but it was an outside-facing sticker.
Yeah.
And then one day, like a day or 2 after we managed the Great Escape, we get this knock on the window in the halls of residence. It was in the campus, right?
Yeah.
And it was another Bournemouth fan. Said, "Oh, you're a Bournemouth fan?"
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't know this person from anything, but popped outside and we were hugging each other and going, "Yeah, we managed to escape." It's like,
you ever thought he actually wasn't a Bournemouth fan, but he probably liked you, and he just wanted a bit.
He was definitely a Bournemouth fan. He had I think it was a season ticket holder or something like that. But obviously he's studying away from home and stuff like that. But it's just that feeling of there's another person supporting the same team, because you know what it's like back in the 90s. If you had Bournemouth are never going to be in the Premier League.
No, top flight.
So
never.
You always had. Well, I didn't, but everyone else had. The Arsenal fan or Villa fan or the United fan or something. So they
weren't around then. Poole Town.
Yeah. But so that was my favourite memory of proving.
Nice.
Giving some hand gestures to my halls of residence fellows, and just managed to survive against all odds, and it's just a great feeling. So that was my time. That was my favourite moment.
No, brilliant, mate. Amazing. Did you get the DVD? I think it was videotape, because they did a videotape of the Great Escape.
There's someone I was in touch with on Twitter who's got the VHS, and he just finished buying something from Amazon that can change it to.
Do they? It sounds stupid. Do they live around here?
No.
No,
He lives in the UK.
Probably find it. Surely it's got to be on YouTube.
Well, I searched it. You found the introduction where all the players are doing, pretending,
like-
wearing the hats and stuff. And
What was the music? It was like the Great Escape music, wasn't it?
Escape.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
And like
dun,
I
dun,
remember
dun,
Steve
dun.
Fletcher like poking his head. I'm sure it was.
He
poking-
had a
and Eddie Howe was
he
there.
he was the aviator.
Was he?
Yeah, he had the aviator.
Who
There
was
a few.
poking their heads above
I
the
don't
trench or
know.
something?
I don't know, but I remember Steve Fletcher being the one with the Air Force hat
Okay.
on, and Mel Machin obviously with the Air Force
Yeah.
captain's thing. But I've got a couple of old DVDs. One from the 2008-2009 season,
Okay.
and also one from the 2016 season when they had gained the 9th position. That was their best season in the Premier League, so I've got that one as well. So that's good. Plus, I've got history books on both Bristol Rovers and Bournemouth.
Wow.
So yeah, because the both clubs, especially Bristol Rovers as well, with a rich history.
Most of
dating
them.
back
I don't
140
mean.
years.
Yeah, I don't mean this to be rude or anything like that.
You are rude. You are
I'm
rude.
very interrupting. Most clubs have got a very good history, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? It's like we're in a country. I was going to bring this up the other day. Oh my God, it's getting late. Earlier on, sorry. About there's a lad I used to work with, and he wouldn't live over here because there's no history as such, if you get what I mean. Not a history like London or England, dating back like most football clubs. Most football clubs come from the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, Bristol Rovers 1883,
Yeah.
and their first name was the Black Arabs.
Was it?
Yeah, they had a black shirt and a yellow sash.
Okay.
And that was their original name. And then, like most football teams or clubs, they playing out in a common somewhere.
Yeah.
And then they sort of moved into the area, And,
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. It's fascinating for any, St. John and Boscombe Athletic, for Bournemouth and how the club colours change and the badge changes and, the current AFC Bournemouth badge. Was Dickie Dowsett. They needed a new. He put the ball on his head. So right, take a picture of this, and that became the AFC Bournemouth badge, which I think is when I first became a Bournemouth fan.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, gosh, how embarrassing.
Just reminds me of Harry Redknapp. I'm not taking the mickey. Just how.
But it grows on you. It grows on you. And thinking, you know what? That's pretty unique in world football. You don't get another badge like that.
Yeah.
Same as the Bristol Rovers badge. I mean, look, you've got a pirate. Can you zoom in on that?
Do you know what?
He was bragging
Let's
how
have
he
a
could
go.
zoom in, and now
Hold on.
yeah, here we are.
Hold on.
You got
Right,
the old
so
pirate
you got to
there.
stand up a little bit.
There we go. That's a pretty unique badge as well.
Yeah, 21st century. Check
21st
that
century.
out. And then there's me. The thumb. Brilliant.
Man. Yes,
Brilliant.
so I love. If I could write a book, if someone could pay me to go out way and write a book about club crests and the evolution of crests and things like that, that would be a dream job.
It would be.
Because there's so much history, even in what I just said just now.
Yeah.
So that's another topic, another day.
Another day. Yeah.
So good.
Mate, I think that's really a good day's chatting.
Good day's chat.
Yeah.
We could have chatted on for ages longer, but hey,
Yeah.
there's got to be a limit for everything.
That's what my missus says about me when she goes to bed. There's a limit I've got to take with you. I'm going to bed. Yeah.
All right, mister.
Mate, okay. Till next week.
Till next week, my friend.
Yeah.
See
Right.
ya.
Take care.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. You know what to do. Want to grow our fan base, our membership base, whatever base we're talking about.
Yeah. If there's anything you don't agree with or you do agree with,
That's
comment.
fine. That's fine.
Stick
Just
it below.
let us know.
We want to know.
Yep. Cool. Thank
All right.
you.
Next week. Take care, mate. See ya.
Bye.